NXT's Takeover is tonight, September 11th, 2014. Normally, I don't do NXT because I don't have the network and I don't really watch it. But with them being on Raw, I kind of feel obligated to do that. Especially since some of them will be on the main roster anyway, probably after this show. There's two of them that you probably saw on Raw last night, Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville. We'll get to that later on. But I just want to do this really quickly because NXT is actually 9 o'clock tonight on the network, the WWE Network, and you can order it, and there's actually a pre-show on YouTube at 7:30, as well as the Takeover Fallout, which I don't know if will be on there as well, but Zaro has some predictions on there. But let's actually go to the card here. And some of these people I might not know who they are, so excuse me if I just pick a match just because I know one guy's going to beat the other guy, just because I know who they are. But first, I want to talk about something important: the debut of Japanese legend Kenta. For those who don't know that name, you should be ashamed, but I will explain anyway. But for those who do, you know that he was the inventor of the GTS, formerly used by Twitter, CM Punk. And Punk actually, for those who don't know, asked for Kenta's blessing of using that move, and it was a great homage to him. Because people who've seen Ring of Honor, New Japan, All Japan, any promotion Kenta's been in, the GTS is his signature to-go move. And I don't know, the one thing I am concerned about with Kenta is, with Punk gone, will they associate the move of CM Punk to Kenta? Because back in ECW, Punk asked to use it when Punk was, he had the Anaconda Vice, and he just needed another move because the management upstairs, John Laurinaitis, all of them didn't like the finish. Just flat on that, the Anaconda Vice making your guys tap out every time. So you need an impact move. The GTS is the good thing to go. It's an impact move. It's an amazing move. And as it's shown, people that have knees as finishers. I mean, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, the Codebreaker. Daniel Bryan with actually Leonard Canada's move, the Bazooka knee. I believe it's called. If I butchered that, I apologize. Punk obviously using the GTS, and Kenta and a lot of other people. Then they'd have had like devastating knee-like finishers like Ivan Koloff, and that's dating way back in the day. With Ivan Koloff with a flying knee up the top rope. But it's going to be interesting because WWE has also signed Prince Devitt, and I don't know, and as well as Kevin Steen, among a lot of other people. I know that who is the guy? I know the guy. I'm trying to think of the name, but he's a big black. I hate saying it. He's a big black guy. Oh God, he was in NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, I believe. People probably know who I'm talking about. I don't remember the name. I do apologize. But with Devitt, with the former Pac known as Adrian Neville, former El Generico in Sami Zayn. Yes, that's the same guy. No, Generico is not retired, under a mask, teaching orphans to wrestle. Although there's a very good story to explain why Generico is gone. But as well as the women's division, you have the daughter of Ric Flair, Charlotte. You have Mercedes KV in Sasha Banks. You have all this other talent. But let's get to the card before I ramble and rant on about how great NXT is, even though I haven't watched it in a while, with the exception of some takeover matches, just because the match with Charlotte and Natalya was just amazing. That's what a women's match should be. And what you're seeing with Paige and AJ is what the Divas division is finally turning around back when we had Trish and Lita main eventing Raw for the Women's Championship back in the day, as well as a lot of great wrestlers even before then with Medusa and I don't want to say Medusa, but back from Moolah, Sherry, all the greats. Even the Jumping Bomb Angels. I'm sorry, it's hard to say bomb on 9/11, but yes, Jumping Bomb Angels. Back in the day, it's crazy. You can relevel that on the fucking network for $9.99. But speaking of $9.99, you could see this on the network Or you can just fun stream like I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna pay for the fucking shit. Fuck no. Anyway, but with Kenta, and I've heard rumors that Flair will be debuting Kenta. Ric Flair will be debuting Kenta, I guess, and announcing him into NXT. I don't understand that, but who better than Ric Flair? Someone that's been in this business forever and who's wrestled in Japan, who's wrestled in a lot of things, has defended the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Japan, as well as WCW's championship, I believe, unless I'm confusing champions and Japan relationships back in the day. But Kenta, I honestly think he should be in the main roster regardless. But we don't want to make the same mistake with the original Sin Cara, Mystico Sin Cara, not Hunico, who is now taking the role of Sin Cara, and we'll get to him a little later too. But what we have here is first off the singles match. I'm guessing I've heard it's a hair versus hair match. I want to make sure on that. Is it a hair versus hair match? Does it even fucking say it's hair versus... Yeah, hair versus hair. We have Enzo Amore versus Sylvester Lefont. Fucking French. And what we have here... Lefont is a great man. I've only seen his work as a manager. I don't know how he is in the ring. I know how Enzo is in the ring. And this is going to be a great match regardless. I don't want to... It's hair versus hair, and I'm probably skipping a match because I know who's going to win. The Mojo Rawley, Bill Dempsey. It's Mojo Rawley. Stay hyped all day, every day. Mojo Rawley will win the match against Bill Dempsey. But back to Amore and Sylvester. I want to see Sylvester pull an upset here. Even though I know that Amore will have a revenge factor with... he had a fucking mohawk in that picture, didn't? Yeah, he had a fucking mohawk. He got... Oh, because his beard was shaved. That's why, with the Legionnaires. That's why. Now, here's a question, though. And I forgot about that. Does the beard count as hair shaven off? Because you have a full head of hair. Mine's still growing back to fucking Africa. But nonetheless, you have a full head of hair. Would the beard be part of that? Because when Punk lost to Rey Mysterio, he kept his beard. So, Amore probably shaved Sylvester's beard if he wins. But I want Sylvester to win and probably bring him up. I mean, if Amore is good, but he needs a few more months. I mean, especially with this feud, it's not going to be overnight. I don't even know who the fuck Bull Dempsey is, so I'm just going to go with Mojo Rawley just based on that, and I hate doing that because he looks like a big guy, a big fucking hoss that can move fast. Don't know who he is, so if he wins, he wins. If Mojo Rawley wins, he'll probably be up in the roster soon enough. And then we have the team I was talking about earlier with Hunakara. Yes, Sin Cara has been Hunico, for those who have not known, and he has been on NXT for a while, feuding with El Local, who was Ricardo Rodriguez, and Kalisto actually teamed with him. But Kalisto was formerly Samurai del Sol, for those who remember. Amazing talent. I mean, the mask he had as Samurai del Sol reminded me a little bit of a Rey Mysterio Ultimo Dragon hybrid, and he moved like that as well. And the guy is amazing, but they face the tag team champions, one of the first tag team champions and current two-time, the Ascension. There is no way in hell Sin Cara will win the gold, because then he will have to carry the belt to WWE, you know. And the only belt we've seen on NXT wise, not counting Paige, because she had the women's title as well as the Divas title, the first ever undisputed woman's champion in WWE, as far as I know, not counting the Lay Cool thing, because that was morphed into the butterfly belt, and that doesn't count. And Lay Cool team belts does not count either. So, but what I have here is the Ascension, Conor O'Brien, and who's the other dude? I feel bad. He's a great British talent. He's a great British fucking talent. He's who the fuck is he? I've seen him. I know his name. But he's had so many name changes, and I don't remember his fucking name. But the Ascension, if you haven't seen them, it's pretty much the Undertaker tag team style, though. The entrance is in itself worth watching Takeover 4. But what we have here is the tag team titles on the line. The Wyatt family's held this title before. Actually, Neville and Oliver Gray held the title first. I take that back. So this is the Ascension's first run of the titles. But the Ascension, if Kalisto does not win, it's not bad for him. It's just the Ascension is a top tag team in NXT, so that's expected of them. Plus, they debuted in main event, so you want to keep them strong. But if Hunakara and Kalisto win, expect them to be the next Mexican Lucha Libre tag team to come up to the main roster. Speaking of the main roster, we have the women's title. Charlotte Flair, the daughter of legendary 16-time world champion who will be introducing Kenta at Takeover, Ric Flair, who has also been managing his daughter on NXT for the past few months, as you saw with the Natalya Charlotte match to determine the new women's champion, since Paige was stripped of the title by JBL, who shouldn't have. I mean, it's the only way you could really make her lose the belt. It makes sense. It's honestly, no one deserved that belt more than Paige, and Charlotte is growing into that role. But she faces an up-and-comer known as Bayley, and I've only seen Bayley based on NXT. Now, Bayley is a great wrestler. Is given a little bit of the Eugene gimmick, but is a great wrestler. But what I see here, and I don't want to doubt the Queen, Charlotte Flair, but what I want to do here is I'm going to say that Charlotte eventually needs to go on the roster managed by her dad. It's the only way it'll make sense. That way people that don't know her will know her, and if you watch Takeover, you will know how great she is. She's getting out of the footsteps of her father, which is very hard to do. Ask David Flair or any of the other Flair family that have squandered since then. I don't even know if David wrestles anymore. Shit, he's like probably fucking mid-card for life after the WCW shit. But Charlotte Flair is not that. Charlotte Flair is different. Yes, she may be a woman, but she is breaking the mold of the Flair family. And that is not a Space Mountain reference to either Flair. Just so we're clear. But what we have here is something great. But what I feel will happen, if Charlotte doesn't retain, if she does, obviously she'll bring the belt to WWE as the real women's world champion. Look, Flair was the real world champion with the NWA title, which eventually became the world heavyweight title in WWE, but is no longer active with the Undisputed Network title, which I refuse to call the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's a disgrace to Big Goldie. It's a disgrace to that once proud championship. But we have Charlotte Flair and Flair. What I see, if she does retain, she'll come out as the real women's world champion, because the women's title has been deactivated since 2010. So you need a women's champion on Raw. You need NXT women's champion Charlotte Flair on Raw. But what happens is Bayley takes the belt from Charlotte, so she goes to the main roster. It makes sense. It's what has happened since the NXT championship. When Seth Rollins went to the main roster, he dropped it to Big E. When Big E went to the main roster, he got it to Bo Dallas. When Bo Dallas went to the main roster, he dropped it to Adrian Neville. And notwithstanding Adrian Neville, he actually debuted on Raw with the belt, along with Sami Zayn, which is our main event for the NXT title. William Regal, our new general manager, by the way, great choice. If there is someone that needs to run NXT, it is Regal or Dusty Rhodes, or someone with experience that is not politically, making their futures. Regal is actually giving these guys a chance. As well as Tyler Breeze made his debut, as well the return of Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd has had great. Tyson Kidd has been a jobber pretty much. And then he goes to NXT and he makes himself reborn. But with the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT title, we have Adrian Neville, the former Pac. Not ex-Pac, but Pac from, I believe, Dragon Gate and all the other federations he's been in. The guy is an amazing talent. The man that gravity forgot. And I think we're actually have to split this up. Shit, I didn't expect this. Plus with the YouTube limits and shit. You have to do it. It's not a big deal.